Alex, can you lead us in the pledge?
Absolutely. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moment of silence for the men and women in the armed forces, our first responders, our veterans, those fighting the good fight in Ukraine, and those suffering from the military conflict in the Middle East. Also, special honorarium for community Sean Quigg, who is an amazing community leader here in town. He had Wheels for Wheels, did a lot of adaptive sports that you would see down at the skate park. And also he did some adaptive use for some of our restaurants that were on Railroad Street to allow wheelchairs to come into those businesses. May his memory be eternal. Thank you, everyone. And Katie, can we state the American Creed, please?
I can. The American Creed by William Tyler Page. I believe in the United States of America as a government of the people, by the people, for the people, whose just powers are derived from the consent of the governed, a democracy and a republic, a sovereign nation of many sovereign states, a perfect union, one and inseparable, established on the principle of freedom, equality, justice, and humanity, for which American patriots have sacrificed their lives and fortunes. I therefore believe it is my duty to my country to love it, to support its Constitution, to obey its laws, to respect its flag, and defend it against all enemies. Thank you.
Okay. Mayor, I'd like to amend the rules to move item 5A, which would be a discussion, not a discussion, excuse me, a presentation of certificates. I'd like to move that up to make it 3A, so they can have that early. And then I would like to add a 3B, which would be the Youth Agency Advisory Committee, which was neglected, not put on.
We have a second.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Okay.
Thank you. So,
I'll let you know in a minute.
item 3,
Okay.
we're going to do the mayoral certificates of recognition to Christopher Satir, Braden Sarah, and Jackson Olmsted. Did I leave somebody out? No?
And we have somebody from the Red Cross. Well.
I don't know. I don't know them.
And I'll let you go first. Okay. The Red Cross, I mean.
This is a great honor for us, here with our colleagues Art Hopkins and Lexi from our disaster team.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Richard Brannigan. I'm the Chief Executive Officer for the Red Cross for Connecticut and Rhode Island. And it's my privilege and honor to be here this evening to recognize 3 members of your community, Mr. Mayor, who really have stepped up to save the lives of other people in their own community.
True heroes.
True heroes. We spend a lot of time in the Red Cross preparing people to respond to disasters and to be prepared in their own home, to have working smoke alarms, to test those smoke alarms, but nothing takes the place of neighbors looking out for neighbors and saving lives. So it's our great honor tonight to present 3 certificates to the 3 young people who came to the rescue of their fellow New Milfordites. Did I get that right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So Christopher?
I don't think any.
They're not here.
Okay,
Okay.
so we'll read their names.
So Christopher Braden
Get those.
and Jackson, and the certificate says, displayed exemplary community awareness and dedication to the well-being of others in alignment with the American Red Cross mission. And for them, I have 3 things also. This is our challenge coin.
Wow, that's beautiful.
It's a military challenge coin in the tradition of our service to the armed forces. It has our Connecticut and Rhode Island seal on it. It also has our 7 fundamental principles. These are the 7 fundamental principles that we follow in the Red Cross, Red Crescent movement worldwide. So it's my great honor to give those to them. And Mr. On behalf of the American Red Cross to your community.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Stand close to each other.
And-
Say that again while you're-
Yes, you know they're not here.
Here we go.
Okay. And also for the town, we did a certificate of recognition to our heroes. And this certificate is presented to each of our heroes in recognition for their extraordinary courage and quick thinking, which resulted in the savings of human lives on February 9th, 2025. Their selfless actions exemplify the highest standards of heroism and serve as an inspiration to our community. So we will make sure that they get these, and thank you. I appreciate you coming. Yes, sir. I'm going to take those from you too. I'm going to make sure that they get those. Okay. Now we have our wonderful.
Is there any,
You guys want to come up and present?
speakers today?
I don't know. It's a surprise to me, Beth. Every day.
Did we have anybody that would take?
I just had to add some words from your family.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is the homeowners.
These are the- Oh. That's very nice. Nice to meet you. Oh, that is beautiful. So these will be letters to our heroes. From you
Nice.
guys.
Yes.
We'll make sure they get this. So thank you very much. Okay.
Hello.
Hi. So, good evening. My name is Alex Wilk. I'm a student at New Milford High School and a member of New Milford Youth Agency Student Advisory Board. So, we're in the process of planning a Bridging the Gap Safety and Solutions Youth Forum for April 8th to give our youth the opportunity to ask questions they find pertinent to the corresponding leaders of our town. We are currently compiling a list of our preferred panelists and we'll be sending out invitations shortly. Mayor Bass, we hope you will join us on our panel. We also sent out a Google form to see what topics people found most pertinent. Main topics of the event will broadly be school safety, with additional concentrations in substance abuse, bullying, and mental health. The forum will be open to the public, and we hope to see attendance from people, important figures in the town, middle schoolers, and high schoolers alike. In addition to our youth forum at CSA this Saturday night, March 1st from 6 to 8 p.m., we're having our second teen night, Arena After Dark. We are estimating an attendance of about 75 to 100 teens from grades 8 through 12. So on behalf of the Student Advisory Board and Milford Youth Agency, I'd like to thank you for your ongoing support. We're eagerly planning our upcoming events and look forward to updating you on how they go and on our progress for events for the future. Thank you, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Katie?
What was the name of the event?
The
The April
teen
8th?
night, April 8th, Bridging the Gap, Safety and Solutions. Yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you.
And
You turn on your phone over there.
Yep, we're gonna do that after we're done answering any questions for our wonderful youth agency.
Maria will email you with the minutes.
Perfect. Thank you very
Alex.
much.
Great.
you.
Thank you
Great
all.
report. Thank you. And I'm gonna turn on the phone there.
Yep.
Welcome. To join a conference now, please enter a meeting number followed by pound. If you are the meeting host, please enter your PIN. Otherwise, press pound to continue.
Anybody on?
Yep, I'm here.
Thank you.
Tom here.
Thank you. Got Doug and Tom. Randy, can you ask if anybody else is on there? And then just Doug and Tom.
Anybody else on here besides Tom and
Doug.
Doug?
Chris Cosgrove.
Chris.
Chris, you're
All
on?
right.
Is Tom on there too?
That's all I got a quote. Is Tom there too?
Yep. I'm here.
Yep.
Thank you.
So we got everybody.
Anybody sign
All
up?
right.
Anybody sign up?
So do we have anybody, public participation? No. Okay.
Okay. All right, item number 4. I'd like, let's see, consent agenda. I'd like to move item 4A, tax collector 4B, and donations 4C.
Second.
for us
Second
to
by the
approve.
mayor.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, I'd
Any
just like to
abstentions?
say that the...
Wait, the vote, but can I ask, why are we getting so much soap?
So,
Oh, wait, and I'll tell you.
absolutely, I was going to do that under mayor comments, if that's okay.
Because we just voted.
Well, it's on the agenda. If you read under item 2.
No, she's saying because we voted on the
We
value.
voted
Oh,
on
But
the
I can- I
value.
can-
accepting
Okay.
the donations, so I
Sure,
was
so the
just-
Yeah.
the
Oh, I see.
donation has a value of $1,944. We are doing a fundraiser drive, and what it is I had a lot of our youth sports teams that are paying to use our turf fields, and they're coming under a lot of pressure with parents having to pay for whether it be equipment or other things. So what we're doing is Goat Boy Soaps has been kind enough to create a new soap called Green Wave Soap. So we're actually selling that soap. The total, it's like 3 bars for $20. So that $20 is going to go towards the goal of being able for next year to pay for the use of the turf fields for all of our youth sports. So it doesn't cost them anything,
Got it.
which would be a great thing for those nonprofit youth
Do you
sports
know what it's
teams.
gonna smell like?
It's already there.
Yeah, it's
Stop in.
downstairs. It smells really good.
Very nice.
It smells almost, like a
Turf?
ginger ale
Like
type
turf?
thing.
Does it smell like a
Not
locker
turf.
room?
Like-
No, like new mown grass.
It's a
Pine.
bright smell. I don't know, it's more like ginger ale. I think
Yeah,
you said.
it smells
It's
good. It
green and
smells really
white.
nice.
I don't know.
And it's green and white.
Sorry, you gotta bring a little humor into this. I think it should
Go
smell
down and
like.
give
So
us
that's
some
what
more.
That was damn
So that's
funny,
what
Mary
that's
Jane.
for.
That was
Thank
very
you,
funny.
because I was like, I don't get it.
Oh,
Absolutely.
sorry, yeah.
Can't wait to
That's
get
right, because he bought it. Okay, so we have, everybody said aye.
Yep.
Good. All right, let's move down to the item 5,
Yep.
mayor's comment.
So speaking of Goat Boy Soap, that's helping us out with this, you can purchase it. You can check the mayor's page, or you can go to https://square.link/u/x9CSLWEH, and that'll take you right to where you can order it right online. And you can pick it up at the mayor's office. Thank you, Olga, for setting that up for us.
Is it on the website?
And it's on the website, and it's also on the mayor's page as well, and the town page.
Good.
Want to congratulate the Milford High School varsity wrestler Alec Olbert on becoming the Class L 126-pound state champion. So congratulations to Alec. He had a great, now he's moving on to regionals. Congratulations to the New Milford ladies wrestling team. Josie Peel, Clara Reynolds, who were both Queen of the Mat champions. Michaela Reese placed second in the tournament, and great job to all the other lady wrestlers, Emmy, Sophia, Leah, and Lucy. So congratulations to them. I also congratulate the Faith Prep basketball team for their win, as they now are the New England regional champions, and they'll be moving to the Nationals in Ohio. So we wish them much success. Also want to congratulate the Milford High School All-American gymnast, Haviland Brown, as she had her 1,000th career point in gymnastics. Also want to congratulate the New Milford High School varsity gymnastics team as a whole, as they won their tournament over Brookfield, Oxford, Pomperaug, and Danbury. And congratulations to Haviland and Regan. And Regan was here as well. She was the other All-American, as they took first and second place overall. I want to congratulate the Milford High School percussion Green Heat, as they took first place in competition in Naugatuck. Also want to thank our Scotticoke students, as they made some wonderful handmade Valentine cards for our seniors. Really appreciated it, and they gave them out at the Senior Center. Quick traffic statistics, as we all continue to monitor traffic, especially speeding. distracted driving, speaking with Chief Cerruto today. Motor vehicle stops in the year 2024 was 590. So far this year, same time is 601, which is up 11 or 1.8%. And keep that in mind, that's with several days of where we've had ice, we've had snow, where they've been more towards, as we'll talk about it more motor vehicle accidents and more safety than it would be on traffic vehicle stops, especially speeding during those times where we had snow, ice rain, and whatnot. Motor vehicle accidents in the year 2024, this time last year, was 127. 17 are in parking lots. In 2025, it was 133. And that is up 6 or 4.5%. As I said before, talking with the chief, those additional ones could be charged up to all the additional times we've had snow and ice on our roads. Infrastructure, we continue to work on some of our bridge work. Brookside Avenue Bridge, they've already drafted the easements that have been received, and they're working with the property owners. Van Car Road, site work has started, and they're going to do a closure on Van Car Road starting April 1st, and all those letters have been sent out to the property owners in the area. We're also going to use electronic signage to make sure that the residents know of the closure. Sand Road, they held a pre-construction meeting, and that schedule will be coming soon. On our safety improvement projects, the school zones, we've got the equipment, and now we're just waiting for the weather to allow us to actually get into the ground because the ground's frozen right now. Also working with the Scenic Road Committee for Bucks Rock Road, as we're going to do some additional drainage work for that. That's Jack had talked about before. The Grove Street Hind Hill intersection, we're continuing with the study, and WestCog is reviewing that application. Other work that we're going to be doing is the reservoir for the dam we talked about with ARPA funding. They're working on the design work. Also Pumpkin Hill Road, and that's where we're going to widen that intersection where Pumpkin Hill meets Still River, that we're doing with a LOTSIP grant. And right now that's all been completed, but they've asked for additional, the state did historic excavation work for artifacts. So I'll let you know more about that when that's completed. Some of the other stuff that we have going on as well is facilities, is the Lanesville Fire Department project. That goes back to the Municipal Building Committee, and I'll be updating the council once that goes back. Also, we're looking at the next roof that will be done, which will be the Northville Elementary School roof. So we're going to be looking at doing design work and whatnot on that after July. Probably won't get built out to the next year because you want to make sure and get the timing of these roofs, especially with kids in the schools, and they're already lining up, the roofing companies are already lining up work for this spring and this summer and fall already. So, and you get a better price if you do it farther out than you do right away. And I'll give you guys an update once we go through that process. Events that are going on in New Milford real quick as well. Talked a little about some of the stuff. We have the New Milford Grad Parties wine tasting. That's going to be this coming Friday from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at St. John's Parish. Also on the 28th Friday at the Danbury Ice Arena. It's the best best town in the USA hockey night that they're doing with the Danbury Hat Tricks. It's a $10 ticket. It's reduced for residents in New Milford. You can go onto their website and there's a code you can put in to get that. On March 1st, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. is the Winters Farmers Market at St. John's. Also, they're having a Winters Farmers Market, I believe 10 to 1 at the Silo. Then, as our wonderful youth agency talked about, March 1st, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Connecticut Sports Arena is the youth agency's After Dark event. That's for our, I believe 8th graders or 12th graders are going to have all sorts of those things you can jump in. They're going to have a DJ there. They're going to have places where you can play basketball, all sorts of great stuff. Again, this is from the Youth Agency Advisory. They thought this would be a great thing for the kids. On March 2nd, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the Housatonic River Brewery is the Northville School PTO Spring Fever fundraiser. On March 8th, 4:30 p.m. at Oddfellows is the annual corned beef dinner. If you love corned beef, they do a great job there. And the proceeds go to help the Oddfellows, who help the community. March 15th, 16th at the Sullivan Farm, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. is Maple Fest. March 15th, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at VFW Hall is the Grad Party additional fundraiser. That's a designer bag bingo. And as we all know, the Grad Party, they're the ones that do the actual grad party for our seniors, graduation night, to keep a safe event for our kids. And thank you to them for doing all the great things they've done in these past years. March 22nd, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Pettibone is Vintage Mania. So if you like autographs, old comics, figurines, all sorts of old toys from like the 40s, pretty cool stuff, they have that there. Then on March 27th, the bus departs at 8:30 a.m. I believe there's a couple seats left for the Medieval Times trip, sponsored by the Senior Center. And then April 5th, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Pettibone is the Grad Party shopping fundraiser. And then on April 11th through the 13th is the convention in a small town called the Weekend of the Life. That's the Gilmore Girls related event that's being put on in the town. I believe the tickets are all sold out. It'll be a great event. And if you want to come down and partake in some of the free pop-up events they have within our stores and different areas, that'll be great. April 19th, 9 a.m. right here on Main Street is Patriots Day, a shot heard round the world. So thank you to our Daughters of the American Revolution and our 250 celebration
250.
committee. And that's what I got.
Mr. Mayor, before you move on?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have any news on the Main and Bridge Street lot?
Nothing as of yet.
Okay. How about the charging station on the green?
Charging station, we were applying for a grant, and with the way the federal government has frozen just about everything, right now I couldn't give you a definitive time as to when that was going to get redone.
And do you know when the next meeting of the Municipal Building Committee is?
Can I send that to you, Alex? I think it's going to be the first Thursday of the month.
Okay, because
Yep.
I know they're not always meeting, so, okay.
So it's the first Thursday of the month.
And I enjoyed the farmer's market on Saturday morning, and I'm really grateful that so many businesses from outside of New Milford, our neighboring towns, but I wish there were more New Milford vendors at this time, because it, and it's almost over, but it just struck me that it was mostly folks from out of town, and we were lucky that they were there.
The one at St. John's?
Yeah.
Because there's also one at the Silo, and I think that some people have gone there
Still,
same time. Did you go to the Silo?
no.
Oh, yeah, he moved it up an hour. I think, like you said it already, 10, right, instead of the 9. But they have had quite a few vendors there, too.
Local. I mean,
I
New
have no
Milford,
idea.
That's, and they're great vendors, and they're from other
Right,
communities,
I don't know
which is
if
wonderful.
anybody from the Green is up there. They might be. I think the mushroom guy is.
He's at St. John's.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and one from Norwalk, came all the way up from Norwalk, so, okay.
I think, when more people realize that the winter market is a profitable venture, I think you'll see more go into next year.
This would encourage New Milford folks to also
Absolutely.
bring their wares. Okay,
Absolutely.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I have a point,
Randy?
may I make a point of clarification relating to the, when we talked about the moratorium issues?
Oh, thank you.
When we talked about that a couple weeks ago. I
Can't hear you.
Yeah, 830G. The question that was put to me that day was whether or not a town meeting can actually issue a moratorium. It cannot. The law is clear. The zoning commission cannot either, unless they get the authority, the permission from the Department of Housing. And that's an application process that you go through. I've taken a look at the application, it's quite involved. But that's the process you have to go through. It's not automatic by the agency. I think Brookfield's gotten one, and they went through an incredible, if you will, hoops and circles to get that. The concern that I have, and I'm not sure where this is going to come out, is if a moratorium is given, that does not necessarily obliviate or obviate the requirement of affordable housing units. These are called HUEs. So I'm not quite sure what effect a moratorium would have anyway, and I'm not sure what effect that would have on the market vis-a-vis whether it's good for the town. That's not my pay grade.
Right.
But what I did want to say is that when I stated that it was not permissible to suspend or to do a moratorium, I was correct by the town meeting. Town meeting cannot do that. Absolutely no authority. The zoning commission can do it, but not on its own. It needs to get permission. So that's the clarification that I would like to make.
And Randy, I believe that it's not, if you were looking to put a moratorium on all 830, if you're going to say just 830G, right? If we're just using that segment now, you cannot create a moratoria on all of the 830G. There's a section of 830G, which I believe is 99% affordable of the complex, 60% AMI or less is not, you cannot put a moratoria on that.
I believe that's correct. I've not been able to verify that with this Department of Housing. But if you take a look at it, it really increases the threshold is all it does. It doesn't actually do away with it. But I'm not sure that's, my interpretation is correct on that. I know Bethel has just filed, and I'm not sure that Bethel's going to get it for that reason. I don't think, and we could be subject to being corrected, I don't think that you can completely do away, as you just said, with HUEs. You have to have housing available. I mean, that's the whole purpose of it. So in any event, I stand corrected on the fact that it would be a blanket prohibition of a moratorium. Not true. What is prohibited is the town meeting absolutely cannot do a moratorium. And if you do want to do it, if the commissions did want to do it, they'd have to get authority from the Department of Housing.
Is that who zoning would have to get permission from?
Yes, Department of Housing.
Connecticut?
Yes.
There's a formula that
Randy?
you have to apply for that.
Right. And you have to apply it. Yeah, there's a
Of course.
formula.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think to even apply, I guess anybody can apply, but I think to have any sort of chance of achieving a moratorium, I think you would have had to have achieved a certain percentage of affordable housing in your town, and I'm not quite sure we're there.
I think that's correct because I took a look at, again, I only took a look at Brookfield's application, and they had achieved whatever that threshold was.
Correct.
It might be. But the fact is that I couldn't get a hold of anybody to give me definitive information at the Department of Housing. So the fact is I want to convey as accurate information as I can because it wasn't as accurate as it should have been last time. But I think you're correct. There is a threshold. Sal says he thinks he knows what that is.
I read the case for the Brookfield and the way they went basically. So the law basically say that unless you reach that 10%, chances that you're going to get anywhere with moratorium is 0 to nothing.
Okay.
So once you reach that threshold, you can start applying, I guess the way that you described, and you still don't have a guarantee that it's going to go, but at least you have the threshold. Now we can discuss further whether or not you want to go to the moratorium.
So the process is available through the Department of Housing, but again, it would have to be the process. It's an application process.
Okay.
Thanks for the clarification, Randy.
You're welcome.
All right. Anything else? Katie?
Okay. I'll move on to item number 6. I'd like to move that we approve the Village Center for the Arts request to close Church Street from Main to the town municipal lot behind the town hall on May 17th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and also the Southern Crossover from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. for their annual arts, oh, this is an anniversary celebration.
Yep, their 25th.
And it is pending the traffic approval.
So moved.
Any discussion? Yep. We have a second? Oh, yep. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any abstentions?
Item number 7, I'd like to move that we approve the following reappointments. The Riverfront Revitalization Committee, Diane Siebert, Brian Kosari, Christopher Gardner, Leba Furman. Their term would be from February 1st, 2025 to January 31st of 2027. And the Planning Commission, Olga Rella, Planning Commission, she's an alternate, it's a 4-year term. This would be from February 1st, 2025, January 31st. Well, it says 202, but I don't think we're going to go that far. So if it's 4 years, I guess that'd be 2029, wouldn't it?
Second on both.
Thank you, Mayor. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. Any abstentions?
Aye.
Item
Thanks,
7B, I'd like to move that we approve the following appointment to the Economic Development Commission. That would be Olga Rella. And again, she's filling a vacancy, and that would be the term of February 24th, 2025 to January 31st, 2029.
Second.
A second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Abstain. And I'd like to move that we approve the, I guess this is as an alternate, that Farmland and Forest Preservation Committee, Benjamin Weed as an alternate, and that would be from February 24th, 2025 through January 31st, 2029.
Second.
Thank you, Mayor. And for those who don't know, Mr. Weed is a farmer here in New Milford. So it's great representation to the Farmland, Forest, and Preservation Committee. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Any abstentions? Thank you.
Item number 8, Finance Director report.
Olga.
I am here to discuss our budgetary performance as of January 2025, which puts us into 7 months into the fiscal year. So let's start with the revenue. At the current time, we are trending well within our budget guidelines. We are exceeding some of our performance in certain lines. As I pointed out before, interest income is still basically outperforming our expectations. Interest rates do fluctuate. There is a moderate decline, but they are somewhat steady. So as of now, we have exceeded our budgetary indicator. However, just to compare, we were about $150,000 higher in interest income at the same time last fiscal year. So that really shows the impact of the interest rates and the impact of the decline in interest rates. Alternative or additional interest income that was identified and is being generated by the town assets is performing as expected. It is not reflected in this month's report. It will be recorded quarterly, but it is about a little over $20,000 additional interest income for the month of January alone. Some other departments are approaching their budgetary indicators. Building permits are on trend, and it is very likely that we will exceed our expectations. State revenues are coming in as projected. They come in trenches, no straight line deliveries. So we're monitoring those, but so far no indicators from the state of any material fluctuations in those numbers. So overall, on the revenue side, we are seeing a steady performance, and we're moving forward. And if you have any questions, I can take those. Moving on to the expenditure side, similar. For the most part, departments are trending within their budgets. Some outliers, if you look, as you look through the report, you will see we have exceeded our budgetary target for household hazard days. That is somewhat expected. We've seen that in the past. These are the events to collect hazard waste from the residents. and we have no indicators what those expenses might come in. Those depend on the attendance. It depends how many New Milford residents attend those events and what ways they actually bring. So we do anticipate 2 more events during this fiscal year. So as we've done before in prior years, that will be part of our year-end adjustment, just as we get closer to year-end to clean up some of those outliers that we have no way to foresee or predict. So we will address that overage at year-end as part of our year-end closeout. As you know, Town Council and Board of Finance have voted on a transfer for Public Works winter overtime due to the latest storms. That transfer was necessary. As of January, you will see approaching the target, but being in the month of February, that transfer was necessary. So that just goes to show the fluctuations in some of our performance. In the last, I believe, 2 fiscal years, winter overtime was actually under budget, but this year it went completely opposite direction. And just more like heads up, I have received an update from our land use department. So it's not in our performance right now, but they do expect to exceed their self-sustaining expenditure line, which is being offset by self-sustaining revenue. So similar to other self-sustaining accounts, we may see negative amounts in that line, and that will be trued up at year end, just to alleviate some of the actions, because again, it's not something we know. We don't really know where we're gonna end up in that particular line. So just like similar to police private duty and household hazard days, some of those adjustments are dealt with at year end. But there will be an offsetting corresponding revenue to address that overage. But other than that, we are trending where, it's still manageable, and we are within our budget. And I can take some questions.
Any questions for Olga? Thank you, Olga.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Olga.
Very good. Item number 9A, I'd like to move that we discuss and possibly take action on the short-term rental guidelines.
So these were in our packets last. Oh, do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Sal. So we talked about this last week or 2 weeks ago, where we had the amended guidelines, and these are just guidelines. There are no ordinance. This is just best practices, and gave you guys time to take a look at it again, see if you had any questions, and if you wanted to move forward with just the guidelines versus an ordinance.
And then how is that shared with people who are doing the short-term?
Yep. So to send this out, if this was approved by the council, we're going to go on the Airbnb sites, the Vrbo sites, those will be the first ones, sending the letter talking about that we're asking them to, first and foremost, to register, which we talked about before on the website. We'll list all those that have registered. We'll also have the guidance, making sure that you have a safety plan, you have fire extinguishers there, you have the mechanicals that are all set, you have your book that has all the emergency case numbers and what to do. Have all those things set up so you have a best practice.
So is there a budget line for any expenses as a result of this, or will there be any?
I don't think for this year there will be, if any. We'll be running it out of the mayor's office, so materials and supplies would be minimal.
Right.
So I don't really see an impact to that at all.
So no enforcement, right?
Yeah, there is no enforcement. It's just asking people to be part of for the guidelines.
Just putting it out there.
Yep. Mary Jane?
I support going with the guidelines. It's a much better idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mayor?
Does this stop any more conversation with the public if we pass it tonight?
The public can always come in. I mean, I would hope they would give it, maybe through the middle of the summer. We can revisit here again just how all this is working.
That might be good.
Yeah, then the people could see if it's something that works or doesn't work.
I was just going to ask Attorney Bella, weren't there a few things on there that you or Joe were going to tighten up?
No, we were waiting for any comment from the
I
town
see.
council.
Oh, okay.
Tonight's
Right.
time.
But
So if you give me these comments, then I could do that.
I got you.
I think it's pretty good.
It is. Very good.
So then you'll tighten it up in our
Okay.
next meeting, we'll,
Yeah, as long as you give me what you want to tighten up. In other words, what issues you're having with it.
just the comments that were made in the last meeting, I think nobody tonight's really making any, so.
Mayor?
Do you think it's proper for me to move to
I think
accept
so.
this?
Yes, sir.
Put it into effect?
Yes, sir.
Pardon me? My motion was for us to have a discussion and possible action. So I guess that is done.
That's a possible action.
Yeah, there you go.
I move the possible action.
Okay.
All right.
You need a second?
No. We got one. Now we got
All
two.
those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions?
Aye.
I'll look it
Thank you,
over.
Chris.
Send it to you. Okay, item 9B. I'd like to move that we set a date for a public hearing on the updated blight ordinance, suggesting the date of Monday, March 10th, 2025, to begin at 6:30 p.m.
Second?
Thank you, Mayor. Do we have any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. Item 9C, I'd like to move that we allow the New Milford Corporation for Economic Development to apply for a brownfield assessment grant for East Street School site.
Second.
And we have a second. And I put in your packets what the state, what we can get up to $200,000 for this assessment. And this assessment is going to be needed no matter what we do with this building, whether it's a development with a third party, we do it, somebody else does it, there's going to be an assessment needed. We spoke to Banu, who runs that division with the state of Connecticut, and this is going to give us really an inward look like we're doing at the DPW facility of what may be transpired to get remediated. I mean, we all know there's asbestos in there because it's built in the 1930s. There could be some other material that we're not aware of, maybe lead paint that's been in there around the windows. So this is going to give us the assessment so that we can see what would need to be done to be remediated.
And if for some reason we don't get the grant, then are we going to come back to the table to look for money within our own coffers, or?
I would say we would then reapply again
Okay.
for that grant.
Okay.
It seems, in talking, everything's not 100%, but it seemed very doable, especially the way that this was being done, as the economic development is a nonprofit. So, and they're not really the polluter, same as what happened at the DPW facility, as we, the town, are the polluter. It makes it a stronger case for grant.
So it's
Okay.
going to hold up any sale to the loan?
No.
No.
Or any,
Not.
yeah, no, this is just, anybody would need it, the town or developer, anybody would need this as they move forward.
So he's not concerned about it at all, apparently?
No. I mean, he knew by walking through there that there was, you know, just asbestos in there, obviously, because it's a 1930s building and whatnot.
How much is it?
We can get up to $200,000 in a grant for that. Any other further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions?
Aye.
Thank you.
Item 9D.
Thank you.
Item 9D, I'd like to move that we take action to allow rectangular flashing light beacons at 23 Hip Road. And upon a motion duly made and seconded, we will then read the resolution.
And if you want to, thank you. You want to read the resolution?
I have it. Is this yours? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, you
I
have
have it.
it.
Oh, I do.
Okay.
Oh, Did we get a second?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. All right,
We're gonna
so
need
it
one
is
of these
resolved
beside.
that the town of New Milford accept the sum of $500 in full compensation for the acquisition of property rights to the state of Connecticut Department of Transportation for the installation of RRFBs at 23 Hip Road. And be it further resolved that Mayor Pete Bast is authorized to execute, and deliver the acceptance agreement as tendered by DOT and all other documents necessary to effectuate the transfer and acceptance. And there is a document here that says just what I just said.
Mayor?
Mayor, I was wondering, is this at the school?
Yes.
But there are 2 schools
Yep.
and 2 driveways.
Both sides of the street.
Before you get to the school in each direction?
So you'll have one, so you have one as you're going up and one as you're going down.
Okay.
That's the school zones. Yep. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Thank you. Steph, you gotta sign yours.
Sign that.
Oh, I move that we adjourn, please.
Second.
Can't wake me up.
I was. Okay. All set?
Yep. All those,
Okay.
yes. All those in favor? Thank you, everybody. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, guys. Thank